Yes, everybody. Welcome back in the building. I hope you guys have had an okay Monday and that you've been able to put football off your mind a little bit. I personally have struggled. Let me know how you guys are feeling in this moment in time, but I just felt it was important for us to come together tonight to try to speak a little bit, try to understand a little bit what really happened yesterday and what's going wrong. How can we bounce back? Because obviously there is not much time to really, it wasn't like this international break where we had 2 weeks to regroup and think about, ways we can bounce back. This is like, immediate. We're gonna have to show an immediate reaction because we literally play on Wednesday night, right? In two days time we play away at Frankfurt, and that's gonna be difficult because in the home game they played in the Champions League, they absolutely destroyed Galatasaray. So they're a good team at home. They play attacking football. We're gonna have to regroup quickly, and then obviously this weekend, Brentford away is gonna be difficult as well. They got their manager who took over from Thomas Frank is a set piece specialist, so you best believe that's where they're gonna be focusing on. But still, I want us to try to have a level-headed conversation. I want you guys to tell me how you guys are feeling, how you think we bounce back. And I also want us to create a team. I want us to create a team for Wednesday, our team, who we would want to play. And I'll tell you the kind of front three that I want to see, because honestly, at this point, the good news is it can only really go up from here. In terms of, there has to be a reaction, and Slot is going to make changes. There's no way he sticks with the same team. Obviously he's stuck with the same team from Chelsea to here, but otherwise, we're going to definitely be seeing changes. You best believe we're going to be seeing changes. And speaking on that, the players, at least when I looked at that last game, that I think definitely need to come into this side. When you look at, for example, our midfield, it really feels as if even against this United team where their midfield is very much a weakness, I was really surprised to see that we couldn't really do anything in terms of control with our midfield. And this is where Slot has to make bold decisions, and I think as good as Maka is, and I think he was our best midfielder last season, I'm not going to forget that. I think if you're not performing in this moment in time, and there is someone who's looking promising, and I'm talking about Curtis Jones, I would bring Curtis Jones into the midfield because he looks like he has that desire. He looks like he's confident, and every time he's played off the bench, to me, he's impressed. He's impressed. So I would bring in Curtis Jones into the midfield. I would rest Maka because Maka just hasn't looked like himself this season for whatever reason. It seems like he wasn't fully fit now, but even in this game against United, he wasn't himself. We got to be honest with how good we know he can be, So for me, I would bring in Curtis Jones. I think he's proven enough that he can bring something. And then I think probably Robbo for Kirkaz, bring someone who has a leadership. He's our vice captain, someone who's going to be a leader at the back, who's going to communicate, because right now it just looks too disjointed. It looks way too disjointed. But anyways, we're going to go through the team and you guys are going to tell me. But Joseph says, hi, Leo, we'll be back stronger than ever. We are Liverpool. We back our team and manager forever. You'll never walk alone. Absolutely. Ty the Map Foot King, nice to see you. Alyssa's in the building too. How are you doing? Happy Diwali. Yes, to all of you that celebrate, happy Diwali. Oh God, got fried by my professor in front of everyone. We need to talk about Vert Simple. I mean, Jeff, he looks so promising when he came off the bench yesterday, and I think he's another one that has to come into the team, not just because of his price tag and how good we know he can be, but we just have to play him in these big games. We have to start finding a solution. Clearly in the summer, Slot would have had a clear idea as to how he's going to fit him into this team, because apparently there were obviously many conversations. Many teams were interested in Florian Wirtz. He ended up choosing Liverpool for the project and the clear role that was set for him. So whether Slot now needs to slightly tweak that role because it hasn't worked, do it, but play Florian Wirtz. Play him, because he's far too good of a player not to be playing. And again, yesterday coming off the bench, he showed his spark. He showed what he's all about. Ahmad says, Leo, it's not a single player's fault. Every player played well in the international break, but it's Slot's tactics and changes he loses and still doesn't change a player. Exactly, Ahmad. That's why I've always said we shouldn't blame individuals because, like you said, during the international break, how many of those individuals shine for their nations and they come back to Liverpool and it's the same old problems. Ty the Matt Fucking has been a community support member for 21 months. Big up, you absolute legend. Says, I'm a red forever no matter what. And it feels like 2022, 23. It's too early to be saying that. Too early to be saying that. Yeah, Slot has to change something and he will change something. I think we're going to see something drastic. I think we're going to see something drastic on Wednesday in terms of changes. Maximilian says, Chiesa needs to start. Tentic says, I feel bad for Fede. The poor guy gives his all and still can't get a starting position. Nadu says, I feel like Slot changed Liverpool's tactics too fast. Do you agree? I think we changed our teams too fast. But here's the good news. There's a way to fix that. You know, I think, like I said, bring in Curtis into the team, bring in Robbo into the team. These are slight changes that I think will help a lot for some stability because right now we look like we're in an identity crisis. At the end of the day, I think this is us not really knowing what we are right now. And that's how you can tell that it's the whole team. It's not, again, not individual, not one part of the pitch. It's not like we can say, oh, our attackers are incredible, but our defense isn't. It's all over the place, you know, all over the place. I think Salah needs a rest midweek. I think he needs a rest because he doesn't quite look like himself. But then if we're talking about the Premier League, when you have a world-class player like that, his ability doesn't go out of the window overnight. Slot has to find a way to get the best out of him again. Slot has to find a way to make him work in his team, you know, because he's far too good of a player to not be using. But yeah, midweek, I would personally change the entire, not the entire front three actually. I think Cody Gakpo was really good against United. He was one of our few bright sparks, and I would start him. I think anybody who's playing really well right now, you don't drop them, given we're struggling for results. Who do we play in the Champions League on Wednesday? Let me pull it up actually right now, guys. On Wednesday, and we can discuss what we want to discuss for this team. We can build it together. I'm going to tell you what I'm thinking. But yeah, we play Frankfurt at 8 p.m. It's 8 p.m. UK time kickoff. Okay? 8 p.m. UK time kickoff. Let me just move this. Okay. So, as you can see, me personally, the front three I would go for personally, I think Cody Gakpo keeps his position because, like I said, that's why I thought it was crazy to not start Hugo Ekitike against Man United because we're struggling for results right now. If a player shows form and shows that he can be a difference maker, don't drop him. Keep playing him because right now the thing we need is rhythm. So if certain players are showing that they have that rhythm in them and they can be difference makers, keep them in the team. And I thought Cody Gakpo, like I said, he was unlucky. Yes, he probably should have scored more, but he hit the post so many times. He got his goal, and overall he just looked really confident, and that's what we needed in our attack, you know? So my front three personally would be Cody Gakpo on the left, Hugo Ekitike down the middle, Federico Chiesa on the right wing, and then I would play Florian Wirtz in the 10. Like I said, we have to start playing him. We have to start playing him. Tino Tenda, thank you very much for the super chat. Did you see the De Ligt interview? Yes, I did. No, actually, I would start Robbo left back. I don't know why I put Kirkez there. I would put, again, we need defensive stability. And for me, a lot of that is communication at the back. And I think, you know, Robbo's obviously a leader. He's our vice captain. I would bring him back into the team, you know? Kirkez is still so young. Give him more time because right now it feels like we're forcing him too quickly into the team when he's not ready. Leo, we can't drop Cody. Cody's in this team. Have a look. Cody Gakpo is in this team. I'm not saying we drop him. It's not just our center backs though. No, because United said the weakness they saw at Liverpool was our fullbacks. De Ligt says that's what United targeted, our fullbacks. I might come for the Frankfurt game. You gotta, bro. That's when we bounce back. You gotta. I think we could even play Endo on Wednesday. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty drastic changes. Genuinely, I think we could see pretty drastic changes on Wednesday night. We need Maka. Nah, bro. Maka needs a rest. He doesn't look like himself. He really doesn't look like himself. Milo LFC, nice to see you in the building. What's good? Leo Gravenberch is injured. He's not confirmed to be out yet. We'll have to see. If Gravenberch is injured, then I'm putting Curtis in here. Look, this is what I'll do actually. Because you're right, actually, from the reports, it seems like Gravenberch is going to miss this game. So here's what I would do. I would put Sobo on the right-hand side, and I would put Curtis here. What do you guys think of that? Do you think a diamond formation would work? The problem is Cody Gakpo is playing so well, I wouldn't drop him right now. I wouldn't drop him. This is the same thing I was saying about Hugo Ekitike. James, the LFC fan, nice to see you. Yeah, Chiesa has to be in the team, bro. Has to be in the team. Shout out to you. You'll never walk alone. Edits, what's good? Happy birthday to you, Heidi. We played terrible. United deserve to win, but hope we come back. You'll never walk alone. Absolutely, Lemon. Leo, start Jeremy. I think Connor Bradley did well, actually, against United. I don't know about you guys. You guys are saying you want Frimpong for Bradley? I'll do a poll right now, actually. Let me do a poll. Who would you start at right back? Bradley or Frimpong? Yeah, I'm curious actually. I think this is going to be a close one in the poll. But I think a lot of people were overreacting to Connor Bradley's performance. I thought he was solid. I saw some people online saying he was bad, but Flo says grade 11, Leo, mine too, but Slot is so stubborn that he'll start Salah and Chiesa and give Chiesa 5 minutes. I've always rated Slot, but he needs now to do something. Flo, I would agree he's been stubborn with team sheets, but I really think he's going to make pretty drastic changes on Wednesday because he sees something is really not working. And now there's a lot of pressure on him. Should be utilized more in the right wing spot. Kwame, I agree he looked good coming on against United, but I would rather have Chiesa there right now, I think. Maradishvili is a top keeper. He will, yeah, he is. But he's going to need time to adapt to this team, like anything else. Any updates on Alisson? I think he's not going to be back till the next international break. So Mamadashvili is going to have to continue to step up in a lot of games. What are your predictions for the West Ham Brentford game? Now that West Ham have Nuno, I think West Ham might win it, to be honest. Now that they got Nuno, bro, I think West Ham are going to win. What do you guys think? Big up Yildiz. I disagree. I don't think Bradley was very bad yesterday. I disagree. Defensively, he was there. I just don't agree. Let's see, though, what you guys say in the poll, because I'm going to let you guys decide. Oh, wow. 230 votes, 73% of you guys. A large majority are saying Frimpong over Bradley. Damn, okay, I'm going to make that change. Okay. So right back, we're going for Frimpong. Guys, when you look at that team, is there anything else that you see when you see this team where you're like, that needs to change? What are you guys saying? What do you think about what Klopp said today? Yassine, he said a lot of things. You got to be more specific. Because he said a lot, and it was 2.5 hour interview. I don't think Gakpo's in the best form. What do you think? Nah, I think he was definitely by far our best attacker against United. He had more XG than United. And you could say he missed the big chances, but for me, at least he's trying with everything he has, and he scored too. So no, I think Gakpo's in good form. And he was very good during the international break too. So no, like I said, if a player has rhythm, I wouldn't bring them out of this team right now. Maka instead of Jones, bro, you guys really think Maka is in good form right now? Yo, William, nice to see you in the building. Maka instead of Jones? Okay, I'm gonna do that poll, but I'm surprised, bro. For me, like it was clear to see that Maka needs a rest right now because he's not himself. But damn, so the first poll was who would you start at right back? 71% of you guys went for Frimpong, 29% Bradley. That was over 300 votes. By the way, for those of you on TikTok that want to vote on the team as well, come onto the YouTube. If you just look up Leo's goals on YouTube, you'll be able to put in your vote. So the next one, we're going to ask in the midfield. Who would you start? Curtis or Maka? I would personally go for Curtis because, like I said, I trust me. I'm not saying I don't rate Maka very, very highly. For me, he was our best midfielder last season. I'm not going to forget that. I'm not saying all of a sudden he's not good. All I'm saying is right now he's not quite himself, so I would give him a rest until he's back to the levels we know he can be at. Whereas Curtis, whenever he's come off the bench, for me, he's looked really, really solid. I would personally go for Curtis for this game. Guys, just by the way, we're not saying the lineup for the whole season. We're literally just talking about Frankfurt. That's on Wednesday night, the next game. This is about the next game. Flo says another day, Cody Gakpo has 4 goals against United. Sums up our form, unfortunately. Yeah, but that's why I would keep Cody in the team. Like I said, he's trying everything. Other players aren't. And that's what I need in this team right now. That's what I need. You know? All right, let's see. 80% of you guys are going for Curtis. Okay, so you guys agree with me. You guys agree with me on that one. All day, yeah. I agree. Kirkez over Robbo? Okay, then maybe we're going to have to do left back spot next. Please shout out to Joe Y. Copites. Big up. Okay, we're going to do left back next because Curtis won that convincingly. 80% of you guys have gone for Curtis to start after 230 votes. 20% say Maka. So Curtis wins by some distance. All right, now we're going to do left back. At left back, I would personally start Robbo because, like I said, right now we have absolutely no unity within our defense, and given that, we need leaders at the back. We need players who are going to be extremely organized, and I think Robbo will bring some of that stability. You could say he obviously isn't as quick as he used to be, but at least if you tell him just focus on your defensive duties because right now we're conceding too many goals, I think he's going to be solid at that. And that's what we need right now. We need some stability. So I would personally bring in Robbo back into the team. Not saying Kirkez isn't good. I'm just saying Kirkez needs more time to bed into this team. Okay? It's not, Klopp said that he can come back in the future. Yeah, potentially. But he did also say that he doesn't want to go back into management right now. He doesn't miss it. He just said theoretically in the future, if he went back into management, the only club he would go to in England would be Liverpool. John from near Liverpool, New York. Thank you very much for the super chat. Who says Frimpong should be subbing for Salah. Well, we can get onto the front 3 positions, but John, do you agree with this front 3 here to play on Wednesday night? Do you agree with that front 3? James, the LSC fan, says Rio needs to come off the bench. I agree. I would like to see him. Leo, I think you're underestimating our Egyptian king. Not at all, Yusuf. I still think our Egyptian king can have a great season, and I still think he can still have many important moments for us this season. Yusuf, it's just no player should ever be undroppable when you're Liverpool Football Club. And right now he's just in going through a bit of a patch. I would give him a bit of a rest, get his mind right for the weekend, and then start him against Brentford. But right now we need something to change. Something needs to change, and he hasn't performed recently. And like I said, no one can be bigger than the football club, and that doesn't mean, Yusuf, it doesn't have to be this one end all be all. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean, like I said, that I don't believe in Salah anymore. It's just something needs to change. That's it. And like I said, I still believe Salah is going to come up with many big moments this season because he's world class. He doesn't lose his world class ability overnight. Absolutely not. But we need to make changes. AKLFC, thank you very much for the super chat, who says, Leo, why does Slot play Sobo, who's a cam, as a right back, even though we have two good right backs? AKLFC, unfortunately, because I believe he doesn't fully trust his two right backs. That's the honest answer. He doesn't fully trust Connor Bradley, doesn't fully trust Jeremy Frimpong. That's the reality. And also, I think because we're very strong in the midfield positions, he probably sees Sobo as being such a good player that he can play anywhere on the pitch. So it's also that. I think it's those two things, that he doesn't fully trust one of his right backs. And then I also think it's because we have so much strength in the midfield that he can shift Sobo and then move Wirtz into the midfield, that type of thing, you know? But I personally think we have to stick defensively. We're all over the place, so we got to stick with the back four and stay with it. And I don't think Szoboszlai is meant to be a right back. He's obviously performed there. I'm not saying he hasn't performed there, but he has to stick. All right, let's have a look at the results. Robbo and Kirkaz. Okay, you guys agree with me. So 200, almost 300 votes where we're talking about left back right now. 80% of you guys have gone for Robbo, 20% Kirkaz. So up next, we're going to do a poll on who would you start at center back, okay? Who would you start at center back is the next question alongside Virgil. Who would you start, okay? Would it be Joe Gomez or Ibu Konate? Ibu or Gomez? Let's see what you guys say. We're going to make this a democratic team. Alyssa says Robbo is more experienced. Exactly. That's why I would bring him into the team. I think it was a mistake not to play him against United. Footy Legend, thank you very much for the kind words. I appreciate you. And thank you, Redline47, for the super chat, who says, I would like to see a game with Ekitike, Isak, Chiesa, and Wirtz all in the starting lineup. Damn, bro, that's very attacking. But the only thing I would say, Redline, is Ekitike's most natural position is as a center forward. And the problem with what you're saying there is that it would be Ekitike on the left wing, Isak down the middle, Chiesa on the right wing. What I like about this team right here is that Ekitike is playing in his best position, and Cody Gakpo, who was really good against United, someone was saying on another day, Gakpo could have had 4 goals if things were just going our way. So I really do think that this front three would be great to see against Frankfurt. But I get what you're saying. Isak, obviously record signing, he should be playing too, but at the same time, he doesn't really look like he's quite himself just yet. So I would give him a bit more time to gel into the team. Flo says, I'm worried for that midfield. It looks too attacking. Considering our horrible defending lately, something might have to change. I see what you're saying there. So would you, maybe the next poll we got to do is Sobo or Endo. Maybe we got to bring Endo into the team. Stefan, thank you for the super chat, says Ben 10. Bro, we sold Ben Doak. Or are you talking about Ben 10, the animated Ben 10? No, Ryan, the real lineup will come out an hour before kickoff on Wednesday. This is us building the team we want to see. That's what's happening here. Yeah, Fishy, next we're going to do Endo or Sobo. Hello, it's me, says Leo. Do you think we won't win the league because of yesterday? I'm not going to say it's over after match week 8. But what I will say is after match week 8, hello, it's me, Arsenal are the strong favorites. Strong favorites. But never can you say after match week 8 that it's over yet. It's just way too early. But like I said, after the results the past few match weeks, Arsenal absolutely are the heavy favorites. There's no doubt about that. We have to be honest. All right, let's have a look at this poll. Almost 300 of you guys have voted, and it's very close. So I'm going to let you guys continue on voting. Guys, for those of you that are in the building, there's almost 400 of you guys in the building, only 290 votes. So vote right now. Who would you start at center back alongside Virgil? Ibu Konate or Gomez? For those of you on TikTok, come onto the YouTube because I can do a poll there. So you can vote whether you want Ibu Konate or Joe Gomez to start. Yeah, Glock 14. Arsenal is most definitely the most consistent team in the Prem, especially defensively. And over the course of a season, if you want to win over 38 games, you need to be defensively solid to win a league title. And I don't think we've shown that, and you've obviously shown that. Whereas last season, we were solid defensively, you know? So things have changed, but we can still turn it around. Lokyuk, thank you very much for the super chat. Where are you from? Lokyuk. Shout out to Jay Kelly in the building. Says we met Slot the other day. He signed his cap. Love it. Was it outside the training ground? Liverpool haven't lost 5 in a row since 1958. That's why we're not going to lose on Wednesday night. Sakis, we will not lose on Wednesday night. We can't. Hey, Leo, I made an edit of you. It's on my community post. Helps lift the spirits. Love it. Liverpool amp. Let me see if I can see it. I'm going to have a look after, okay? Liverpool amp, after the live. Flo says, Leo, why did Ekitike not start against United? Was it just Slot's decision or another reason? If Slot decided that, that's just that. Flo, I think it's because we had this Frankfurt game 3 days later and Ekitike would have wanted to start against his old club. I think that's the reason. It was 50-50 between Isaac or Ekitike because he was going to start them both in both games. And I think the reason he decided not to start Ekitike is, like I said, because Ekitike was going to start against his old club. But I agree. The thing is, Flo, the reason why I think it's a mistake is Ekitike is our most informed attacker right now. And I think had he been on the pitch starting, he would have scored against United. I do think so. So I think it was a mistake. But now we move. And he will start against Frankfurt. And I think he will score against Frankfurt because he's our best attacker right now. You know? I do think Ibu Konate was good though, to be fair. I think Ibu Konate was good in our last game against United. LFC 97, nice to see you in the building. You'll never walk alone. Why Jones? Because every time Benzo Jones has come on in recent times, he's really impressed. And Maka's not been at his best this season, so he needs a bit of a rest. Bajetic, bro, Slot couldn't throw, but Bajetic hasn't even come off the bench, so there's no way he's going to be starting anytime soon. He's coming back from an injury and everything else. So as much as I love Bajetic as well, there's just no chance of that happening. All right, let's have a look. I think it's still going to be very close, this poll. I think it's still going to be very close. Ibu Konate is just edging it right now, guys. 430 of you have voted. 53% are saying Ibu Konate. And 47% are saying Joe Gomez. Give Maka and Ryan a rest. Yeah, I mean, this team would be both of them getting a rest. If it's that midfield three of Curtis Jones, Szoboszlai, and Wirtz, then they would both be getting a rest. For me, Curtis should start. Me too. Me too. Me too, me too, me too. You don't know who you would start? 53%. Guys, continue to get your votes in. Maybe we'll end it at 500 votes. Right now, Ibu's leading by just 3%. I said Gomez, but actually Konate was pretty good yesterday. He was. He played better than Virgil yesterday. Do you think I should start a YouTube channel? Yes, bro. If you want to, why not? Nowadays, the beautiful thing about YouTube and all of us is that any of us can start a YouTube channel like that because we pretty much all have phones. And that's all you need. You know, I record all my videos with my phone, with this phone. Thought about my prediction for the Frankfurt game, 3-1 Liverpool win. We have to get back to winning ways. We just have to. Thank you, Liverpool Amp. I'm going to look out. Let's see. Wait. I need to upload this first. Please remember Joe White Cop Bites with love from us. Are you a season ticket holder at Anfield? Rio to start. I don't think that's happening. Heath, the iPhone 15. Dalal, this is one that I actually designed with the help of a designer a few years ago from Istanbul. Stevie. All right. This is going to be it for this poll. Ibu Konate has won, guys. 540 votes. 54% of you say Ibu. 46% Joe Gomez. So we're going to keep Ibu Konate at center back. The next position that we said we do would be the other holding midfielder. So it's going to be Sobo, or because we said Gravenberg is probably not fit for this one. Who would you start? Sobo or Endo? Wait, there's Champions League today? No, Hansi Flick, it's tomorrow. Tonight we got West Ham Brentford. The team we actually faced this weekend, Brentford. They played tonight. Big up footy legend, love you too. Endo. Love from South Africa, Florian Wirtz. This team is looking good right now. This team is looking good right now. Nah, it doesn't look like Alisson will be back until after the international break. Until after. Who's the best right back in your opinion? It's hard to say, Sharon, but I think if I had to stick with one, I would personally probably go for Conor Bradley because he's really proven in the past just how good he is. And I didn't think he was bad against United. And I just think he needs a run. I think we just need to trust a right back. And he's proven how solid he is defensively. And that's what we need right now, defensive stability. So I would personally stick with Conor Bradley. That's me. But we already did a poll for right back. And you guys decided to go for Frimpong. So I'm going to go with what you guys are... What the whole building is voting, because I only get one vote, you know, and there were over 300 votes. Amir, the game is on Wednesday. The game is on Wednesday. Favorite forward in Liverpool's history? That's hard. I think my favorite to watch was Luis Suarez. And Bobby Firmino. Luis Suarez and Bobby Firmino were my two favorites. What has Chiesa done to Slot? Bro, hopefully he starts on Wednesday night. Hopefully he starts. All right, let's have a look. Sobo and Endo. Sobo is leading by some distance, guys. Over 200 votes, 82% of you guys went for Sobo, 18% Endo. So we're keeping Sobo there. Do you guys want? What's the next position in the team you want to see a poll for? Most creative midfielder in Liverpool's history. Yo, Ash, how are you? You were at the game, right? You were at the game. Apart from Liverpool, who do you want to win the Premier League? Let's have a look. Who's apart from Liverpool? I would want Bournemouth to win the Premier League. Bournemouth are in third right now. That's the team. Yo, Daily Aura, nice to see you in the building. Daily Aura says, is it true Slot was in Dubai during the international break? I thought he'd be focusing on the team. He's on vacation. I think too much has been made of that. Daily Aura. It is true that he was in Dubai, but trust me, other players would have had time off during that time, so they wouldn't have been at the training ground, and he would have been working the whole time he was in Dubai. It's just a change of environment to be in a bit of the heat and everything else. But trust me, just because nowadays you change environments does not mean that you're not working. So a lot of people have made it a big deal that he was in Dubai during this international break, but it's just overreaction. Obviously, he didn't do the right kind of work because we didn't look like a different team. But I think it's too much to be saying that just because he's in Dubai means that he can't work. Nowadays, it's not a question of location, where you are physically in the world. Left wing. Okay, you guys want to see left wing next. Okay, we're going to vote on the left wing. What was your question, KFC? Wait, guys, what left wing option should I put? Gakpo? Who else? Ekitike? Chiesa, I guess I could put. But he can also be on the right wing. That's the thing. I don't want to put Chiesa there because if we're giving Salah a rest, then I want Chiesa on the right wing. Guys, who should I put for left wing options? Apart from Gakpo, obviously. Jaden. Guys, let me know. Who do I put? Rio? No, we already decided Verts was in the 10, guys. Rio. Okay, Rio. But guys, Chiesa, I don't want to put Chiesa as a left wing option. Why don't we play Ekitike on the left? Because, bro, he's better as a striker. I'm telling you, I don't want to put Chiesa because Chiesa should be on the right wing. Rio, who else do I put apart from Rio? Ekitike, bro, I think Ekitike should start as our center forward, not as our left winger, and we can use Isak as a super sub. I'm not going to put Ekitike. And Verts, bro, we're not going to play Verts in not his natural position. I think the only two, guys, let me know if I'm wrong, but I think the only two we should put are Gakpo and Rio. Those are the only two I want to put. I'm just going to put Gakpo and Rio because for me, Ekitike needs to be a center forward right now. That's where he's delivering. Firmino, bro, I wish. I love Bobby. Benzo, you don't know how confident I am that Slot will play Ekitike over Isak on Wednesday. So confident. Trust me. Yeah, I would put Dalal. I would absolutely start Cody Gakpo. Yeah, we'll do a right wing poll. Yeah, this is what I thought. Do you think you can be a Liverpool manager and be good? No, Omar. I could not deal with the pressure. I would not want that job, genuinely. I would not want the job of Liverpool manager. I would much rather be the assistant manager because people barely put the blame on the assistant manager. Whereas if you're the Liverpool manager and you lose one game, everybody freaking loses it. So I would not want to be Liverpool manager because Slot has way more experience than me and he's even struggling. So imagine me who doesn't have experience at the highest level. I do not want that job. Absolutely not. I like living my peaceful life. All right, I'm going to end this poll because it is convincingly Cody Gakpo, guys. 69%. Cody Gakpo, 68%. Rio, 32%. We're going to do right wing next, okay? Right wing. Start at right wing. So at right wing, we got Salah. We got Chiesa. And I'm going to put Frimpong too because Frimpong has played on the right wing. Imagine Leo coaching Verge. I have met Virgil though. It's already in slow mode. Leo, if I were the board, I would sign you for assistant manager. Yeah, I'd love to be the assistant manager, and I would go with the positive motivational talk. That's what I would go for to help the team bounce back. But to be in the job where all the blame is put on you, no, thank you. Leo, you would make a good manager. Yeah. Chiesa. Yo, Amenzu, my brother, nice to see you. Who says last season was Klopp's heritage effect. Now it's Slot's time. Time to implement the philosophy and create a new chemistry around the new signings. Absolutely. Why is no one talking about Curtis Jones' impact off the bench? Nah, bro, we are. And that's why we're all saying, well, a lot of us. I did a poll asking whether you guys would start Maka or Curtis Jones against Frankfurt in our next game. And a big majority of you guys went for Curtis Jones. So a lot of us Florian Wirtz are saying that given how much Curtis has impressed off the bench, he deserves a start now. And if he performs well against Frankfurt, he stays in the team. And that's in this moment in time. And this is where one of Slot's biggest mistakes, I think, from the weekend was not starting Ugo Kitike. Why? Because I think a principle that we need to have right now, it doesn't matter your price tag, it doesn't matter your age, nothing matters except your last few performances, because we're so out of form right now that we need confident players. And that's why Cody Gakpo needs to be in the team. He showed his confidence and he showed he wanted to make things happen against United. Ugo Ekitike has been our best attacker. Chiesa's always showing impact. Play the players who are on it right now. Play them. Complete dynasty and treble. I think Chiesa needs to cook so that he can stay in the squad. Harvey, that's why I would so love Chiesa to start, because imagine he really does take his chance like he does when he comes off the bench. Then I think he could remain in the team, you know? Delior says all players need to run back and defend. No more hearing about license to stay forward or attack forward. We want to hear that they have to defend for everyone on the pitch. Absolutely. Absolutely. And this, Delior, did you get a chance to watch the Klopp podcast, by the way? The Diary of a CEO? Because I watched that today. And I mean, this is nothing new. Klopp has said this for years, but he's always said his philosophy is unless you're Leo Messi, arguably the best player of all time, then you need to come back and track for your team. And that's what it was like. Even when he had that insane front three, which is probably going to be the best front three I'll ever see in my lifetime, of Sadio Mane, Bobby Firmino, and Mohamed Salah, they all had to track back. They all had to work their ass off for the team. And that's how it should be today, still. So I completely agree, Delior. In my opinion, it should be that way, where And it should be the same thing where if you don't perform in this moment in time, your spot isn't guaranteed in the team. I was just talking about Salah before Delior, and I think this is the best way to say it. Do I still believe Salah is going to have a great season for Liverpool Football Club? Absolutely. Do I still believe he'll come up with many big moments this season? Absolutely. But do I believe right now he needs a bit of a rest and something's going on mentally? Yes, as well. And that's why I wouldn't start him against Frankfurt, but I would start him against Brentford because he's still world class. And there's no way that over one summer, it's like he was the best player in the Premier League, putting up the most goal contributions in a single Premier League season, and then the next season he's just done. It doesn't work like that. There's no way, Jose. But like I said, if you don't track back, if you don't defend, if you don't perform, and now, especially considering the squad depth that we have, your place isn't guaranteed in the team, no matter what you've done or your price tag or whatever else. Maps, big up, who's been a community support member for 5 months, says we need to make a statement on Wednesday. Absolutely, and we will. I'm confident we'll win. We have to. We have to. We simply have to. Redline, big up. Thank you again for the super chat. Says we lack intensity in our pressing and our build-up is way too slow in my opinion. Yep, that's what we were just saying. Redline, spot on. And this is what we're saying too, is it's like if you don't feel that you have the fitness to press or track back and work your ass off for this team because it's not acceptable to be losing games, then we make a change. That's life, you know? And again, does that mean that Salah isn't going to come back into the team after? Absolutely. Of course he's going to come back into the team because he's world class and he'll show he's world class again. I have no doubt about that. But your spot in the team should never be a guarantee, ever, when you play for a club as big as Liverpool Football Club. Just Henry, big up, who with a super chat says, I suggest this formation 2-1-3-4. Oh, God. 2-1-3-4. Keep it family friendly. What did I say? That's not family friendly. What did I say? Have you ever met Slot? No. Kieza's on the right wing. Guys, 375 votes. 75% of you guys have gone for Chiesa. So it's going to be Chiesa on the right wing. I think this is the team you guys want to see the most. Is that a curse word? Or bum? Is the better way to say it bum? Nah, guys, I didn't realize that was a bad word. I didn't realize that was a bad word. Sorry. The biggest festival in India, but Liverpool ruined it for me. No, happy Diwali to you, Arnav, and any of you guys that celebrate Diwali. Will you travel to Germany tomorrow? No, unfortunately not. But it means that we're going to do a watch along, which is going to be great. Pull for the goalkeeper, bro. It's either Woodman or Mamadashvili. I'm not going for Woodman. No offense. Come on, bro. Is this the official lineup? No, Marvin. The official lineup only drops an hour before kickoff. And Liverpool never is going to play 2 games in a row, like back-to-back days. It wouldn't be possible for the players to play on a Sunday and then on a Monday. It wouldn't be possible. Why no Gravenberg? Because of an injury. I think he's picked up. I would be very surprised if he played. Very surprised. Zach says maybe we're starting the season slow, and in the second half of the season we go full throttle like what Pep used to do or what PSG done last season. I would love that, Zach. If that ends up happening, I would absolutely love that. First did look promising. That's why he has to start against Frankfurt, playing back on German soil too. He has to start. Flo says, Leo, what's one signing you would make in January apart from Marguerite? We just need a center back right now. Flo, already we've made so many changes to this team. I wouldn't start signing a bunch of players because that's already what we did this summer. So the only signing I want to see us make is a center back. And if you're saying we can't get Marguerite, then I would think about someone like Schlotterbeck. There's lots of options out there. But apart from a center back, I don't want us to make more signings because, like I said, we've already made so many changes. The last thing we need right now is bringing even more players and more dilemmas for Anislot to deal with. Let's work with what we have right now. Rahid, I'm from Iceland and from France. But I lived in the US for 12 years, so that's why English is my most natural language now, but it wasn't before. Schlotterbeck is the best center back for us to buy. Yeah, he would be a great option. And it doesn't look like he's going to be signing a new contract at Dortmund, except the way things have looked in the Bundesliga, it seems like he's going to be joining Bayern. The amount of great Dortmund players that just end up joining Bayern, bro, it's a joke. Jones fits perfectly into Slot's system. Yeah, he has to start. He has to start. Wish we had Gehi right now. We have lots of issues to deal with this in this moment in time. I'm trying to see what we have from Curtis. Shout out to you, Lydia. Shout out to you, Toma Gutierrez. Where are you from, Toma? Start Endo over Virgil? Nah, not Endo at center back, bro. Not right now. With the high line we play. Jinx, I'm feeling a bit better, but obviously still gutted about the result yesterday. That felt like the most painful Premier League result in many, many, many years. Many years. Ibrahim, hi, nice to see you in the building. Flo says, who's a Liverpool player from the past you think would be very useful in this team? Trent right now. To be honest, Trent right now. Just because there's been many moments where I feel like one ball in behind could just bring a type of danger that would have changed the game and the way other teams set up. And we don't have that outlet right now. So I definitely think we're missing that. But otherwise, lots of players. Stevie G is a player you would always want to have in your team. You know, no matter what. He's a game changer. Who do you see as the biggest threat in the Premier League to Liverpool this season? Definitely Arsenal. I'd say Kwanzaa if we need to bring back up one player. I think Thopa, our clause, like our buyback clause, doesn't start till 2026, I think, or 2027. I think it's like 2 years. Rio has gone missing. Yeah, Neil, we already did a vote for left wing, and you guys decided to start Gakpo on the left wing. Rahid says, "Do you agree selling Luis Diaz was a bad decision?" I don't know. Like, the thing is, it's like so many people are saying, "Oh, it was a huge mistake to sell Luis Diaz." Bro, the amount of people last season that were saying Luis Diaz isn't clinical enough, isn't this, isn't that. And now because he's gone, it's like in hindsight, so many people are saying, "Oh, we're missing him." I think there's bigger structural issues that are happening. That's not related to Luis Diaz. If I think about all the players we had last season, probably the one we're missing the most is Trent. More so than Luis Diaz, in my opinion at least. You know? But that's just me. And I'm not saying he wouldn't have impact today, but I'm just saying it's too easy to always look back in hindsight and said, "Oh, if this player was still here, we'd be winning these games." But it's something bigger, I think. Even though I'm spamming it like hell, Sidart, I'm devastated too, still. Trust me. That's why I felt we needed to speak on it. Even the day after, have a little stream where we could all kind of let out our feelings, you know? Zach, I think we're going to come back with a big performance too, Zach, on Wednesday night. Good night from Kenya Leo. I love you. Good night. Kenyan Scouser. Have you seen Trent? Yeah, I did see his. I did see that. I'm trying to find what would be a good tweet of Curtis. Bye, Ibrahim. What he said was, Curtis post-match had a difficult moment, not what we're used to and not what we want. We will get through this together. All focus is on Wednesday. Thank you for your support as always. Yo, Weefa, nice to see you in the building. Invisible Duo's in the building too. Invisible Duo says, I miss a lot of the streams because high school, but I get the chance. I hop in the stream. Big up. I hope you'll be here maybe on Wednesday night too, then for the Frankfurt game. Weefa says Slot needs to have pressure on his job, not like that, but just let him know Yeah, if trust me, he's feeling the pressure right now. I think that's a given. I think that's a given. I'm trying to find a good pick of Curtis, who I thought was really good. We're playing on Wednesday night, Martin. Bro, I'm trying to find a good pick of Curtis Jones right now because I think he has to start in the next game. But I can't find anything decent right now. I can't find anything decent. Maybe this. Yeah, I think maybe that. What time? It's at 8 p.m. As you can see, 8 p.m. UK time. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this live stream. That is going to be the end of this live stream. I want us to hop on, start to think about Frankfurt, try to be a bit positive, look towards what's next. And like I said, I think if Slot makes those bold decisions, which I think he will, I think it's going to be something quite drastically different on Wednesday because it needs to be. It really didn't work in the last game, and he knows he has to show a response. So I think the legs of, Verts are going to start. I think Frimpong's probably going to start Keys. I don't know, but we will see changes. We will see changes, and I'm still going to be positive. I'm going to be positive, even though today it was hard because, like I said, losing to United in that manner at Anfield is so painful, and especially against that crap United team. If it was a great United team, I think it would feel different, like in the old days. But to lose to a crap team really, really hurts, because it shows how much we need to improve, But yeah, guys, like I said, I will be positive. I will be positive because like you're saying, at the end of the storm, there's a golden sky, absolutely. And I'm still confident with the quality that we have within the squad that we're going to bounce back, that Slot is going to find a way, that this team is going to find a way, and that right now it's this bad run of form where things aren't going our way, but that we can turn this around. I really do believe it. I'm not just saying that, So, guys, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your night and beginning of the week, and I will see y'all on Wednesday, where we have to bounce back against Frankfurt, And like I said, I believe we will. So hopefully, it actually happens this time that we see a response. But anyways, guys, thank you as always for the support, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Ciao, guys.